We got a quorum yet? What are we missing? Is that for Bluetooth or hearing aids? Here's Hattie. Well, it's just about time. I think we got a quorum. John Reardon's up behind me somewhere. Okay, I'm going to call.
Let me know if you need me.
Okay, I will. I'm going to call the March 3rd Council Butte-Silver Council Commissioner Finance and Budget meeting to order. Everybody's got a chance to review, to look at the expenditure report. So then I'm just going to go around the table and ask if anybody has anything that they would like to ask of Karen for further explanation. Commissioner O'Neill, do you have anything that you would like to?
Thanks, Chairman Sorge. Yes, I do. Karen, could I, will you pull communication 2021-104? I lost my page number. Karen, do you need the page number in order to pull that up, or?
Let me see what I can.
Excuse me, Chairman Sorge. That is a communication number. That would not be something on the check run. Communication 2021-104 is a communication on tonight's agenda. It is not on the budget and finance agenda. What we're here to review is the check run.
Chairman Sorge, Mr. Fisher, exactly right. I'm reading my notes incorrectly. I apologize. I have not even been drinking yet today either, so definitely apologize for that one. So, with that one being said, I'd like to be skipped at this moment. Can I take a pass, Chairman? Thank you. Chairman Storch, you're muted.
Good. Okay. Thank you, Commissioner O'Neill. After saying that, I'm going to move on. Commissioner Thatcher, do you have anything that you would got a burning desire to know?
Thank you, Chairman Sorge. Hey, Karen, I was just wondering, what is She International Corporation, the $92,500?
So I spoke with Kathy Kennison. She's the director of the IT department, and she said that the majority of that, roughly $80,000, are for our Microsoft Office licenses for the entire county for the year. And about $12,000 of that claim relates to some server services that we get through this company. So it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, dang. That's all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Fisher.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Chairman Sorge. I do not have any questions or concerns on the check run for this evening. Thank you.
Commissioner Fortune. Justin, do you have anything that you would like to ask?
I do not have anything tonight, Commissioner Sorich.
And I believe Commissioner Reardon has some questions, but he already got those answered. My only question was, and please refresh my memory, Karen, what's the policy on petty cash? How's that reviewed? How is that? I see where the golf course wants $300. That's actually, never mind. That's a communication. Never mind.
Chairman Sorge, I can answer that question for you though. In the past, when, for instance, when Ridgewaters opened and they needed to establish a petty cash fund, the director, or in this case, Mr. Fisher, had to write a communication to be approved by council to establish that petty cash fund. And so for the golf course, they have a second register. They have a register in their pro shop, and then they have the register in their bar and simulator section that needed to be funded. And so that is the process, that you just write a communication to council for approval to establish that petty cash fund.
And the only reason I brought that up, and I guess I should have talked about it in the meeting, because I know the auditors sometimes they kind of go haywire over those petty cash funds.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty, like in the case of Ridgewaters, they turn that petty cash fund in at the end of the season. And the same with Highland View, but now that Highland View will be a year-round operation, we'll just have to, ensure that we audit that, spot check it a couple of times a year, that, to ensure that those funds are still there.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have anything on the expenditure list they would like to ask? If not, I'll ask Karen to kind of explain the resolution that we talked about for the Vietnam drug court, I believe it is. Or is that what it is? I don't have it in front of me.
So there are two, sorry, Commissioner or Chairman Sorge, there are two resolutions that were included with the communication from Velvet with the budget transfers. The first was, this is a resolution that is adding budget authority to the fiscal year 21 budget for the Veterans Grant that was awarded through the Department of Justice. It's the Edward J. Burns Memorial Fund. And I believe that this adds, for the first year, it's a almost $500,000 grant, but it's for 3 years. And so this year they're establishing the fund with $170,086. And so their beginning dates on the grant don't necessarily correspond with our fiscal year. So there'll be a carryover of this funding after June 30th. There's no possible way that they could spend all of this by then. So we'll just carry those funds over and track it by the grant year and the fiscal year. And then the second resolution is for the Clark Chateau. The Clark Chateau received some funding, $5,000 from SARTA to do some repair and maintenance work on that building. As you know, that those budgets for the Art Chateau are pretty tight. They don't tend to bring in a lot of revenue. And so these little grants are helping them do some repair work at the Chateau. They, I know, recently replaced a door, a back door that was really not something that you can just go get off the shelf. It had to be, sized. It's a bigger size. And so these little budgets really help, or these little grants really help them in their budget and maintaining that facility.
Does anybody have any questions regarding the budget transfers? Okay, well, Karen, could you also just update us on the budget transfers, please?
Sure. The first budget transfer, number 97, was from the planning office, just moving some funds from printing and duplicating and other purchase services into their office, our operating supplies, just to purchase some books and miscellaneous, a chair and some headphones. the total amount of that transfer was for $600. And the second transfer was also for in the planning board. It was in our internal service funds for the GIS operations. And it was a transfer out of the travel budget and into repair and maintenance services for an ESRI contract. And then the ESRI is a computer program that they use in their mapping. I guess they also use it in other departments throughout Butte-Silver as well. And the third, number 99, it says to cover the cost of a fire training container. It was a rent that the fire department paid to, I believe it's Buchanan Sand and Gravel. Number 100 and the final budget transfer was a transfer in the transit system of $1,670 to non-capital fixed assets to purchase some new office equipment like a desk and file cabinets for the new transit center. The dispatch for the transit is going to be moving down to the new transit center that they built as part of the shop relocation project. And the current desk that she has is on the second floor of Public Works and is huge. So I think that it was probably just easier for them to get a new desk and have it delivered to the new center as opposed to moving what they already had.
Thank you, Karen. Does anybody have any questions of anything that you've heard? I take that as a no. Saying that, I would, Commissioner O'Neill, I'd entertain a motion for the expenditure of the March 2nd check.
Thanks, Chairman Sorge. This time I'd like to make a motion that we reviewed the expenditure list as of Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021 in the amount of $456,043.06.
Second.
We have a motion and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion passes. Anything else come before our committee? If not, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Got a motion made. Do I hear a second? Second. All right, so moved. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you very shortly.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks. Thanks, Karen.
Thank you. Good evening.
All right.